Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Um, we're about to get into some NFL football. Okay, uh, starting off early on Sunday morning too. I think in Dublin, um, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna be some great games happening, great matchups, great performances. I think that's gonna happen too. But wait a second before we get into all that though. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Isaiah Austin, and welcome back to the IDA Kings Video Production channel. Okay, let's get started though. Let's get started. All right, the 9:30 a.m. game that's coming on in the morning is the Vikings versus Steelers. Right, that game I think is still going to be a good matchup. Aaron Rodgers, versus the Vikings. Seeing if the Steelers defense can get on track against the Vikings, who is without J.J. McCarthy at quarterback. But they still got great weapons like, obviously Jefferson. The receiver. So, the Vikings can still put up a lot of points and stuff like that. The Steelers has to be able to maintain, play good defense if they want to win against the Vikings. Man, that Vikings team is tough, even without J.J. McCarthy. Another game that's going to come on, obviously, is the Chargers versus Giants. The Chargers are 3-0. They're trying to go 4-0 against the Giants. Jackson Dart is going to start his first NFL game. Pretty excited to see that, see how that goes. Pretty excited to watch that and see how that goes. Another game that's coming on is both 0-3 teams. Tennessee Titans versus the Texans. See if CJ Stroud and the Texans can get back on track against the Titans, and see if Cam Ward can do his thing and really have a big coming out party against the Texans, who are 0-3 and struggling, reeling, having a rough start to the year for a team that made the playoffs the last 2 years and won a playoff game and won their division 2 years in a row. Okay, that's a game we're gonna see about. Another good game that could happen. I know Daniels is out, but Commanders, who are 2-1, versus the Falcons, who are 1-2. Right, the Commanders are trying to get a win to go up 3-1 without Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. Right, they need to try to get a win against the Falcons, who are reeling, who they're struggling in the 2 out of the 3 games. Really, the last game, it was really bad. The first 2 games were real close games, really good, really close games. Especially that first game, Tampa Bay, they could have won, field goal miss. But overall, they're trying to get to tying it 2-2, and the Commanders are trying to go up 3-1. Right, that's something we want to see. Bills, you already know Josh Allen. Bills being 3-0, most likely going to beat the Saints, right? Who's 0-3. Okay, that game is coming on as well. That could be, Bills might do their thing. It's self-explanatory. This could be game of the week. This could be a great game, right? Magical game. Buccaneers versus Eagles. Both teams are great. Both teams look like Super Bowl type teams. They got great offenses and great defenses, right? The defenses are really good. Jalen Hurts versus, versus Baker Mayfield. I think Cam Newton said he trusts Baker Mayfield over Jalen Hurts. It's kind of crazy because Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has been doing this for a long time, winning, being accurate, doing the thing, stuff like that. The Bucks, Baker Mayfield hasn't done it as long, even with he has some talent, but that's going to be a good game, and I think Jalen Hurts is probably going to show again why he that dude. He's going to keep showing it again like he always has to, I guess, right? Crazy work, unbelievable. But that game's going to be fun. That game's going to be amazing. Another game, Lions versus Browns. Lions are trying to go 3-1, and the Browns are trying to spoil that, and they're trying to go 2-2 and try to be tied 2-2 now after starting out rough, 0-2, close loss to the Bengals, but then getting blown out a little bit by the Ravens. They start pulling away on them. The Browns got to maintain. The Browns got to hold the ball as long as possible because the Lions can splash. The Lions can score with anybody in the country. They can score with anybody in the country. So, they got great running back duos, great receivers, right? Jared Goff is a quarterback who can make all the throws and all the reads. So you got to be careful with him as well. He's that dude. He's a beast. Okay, he's a monster. So, what I'm saying? The Browns have to maintain the Lions, keep them off the field as much as they can, try to force some turnovers against the Lions if they want to win that game, because the Lions are a great team. And the Lions, they just got to methodically do the plays that they do. Go for it, on the fourth downs, and go for it in the red zone. And they could be fine, for sure, for sure. The Panthers, are playing the Patriots. Panthers are 1-2. Patriots are 1-2. See how the games go. See how that game could be. That game, you never know what that game could bring too. That game could be fun. Drake May and CJ and Bryce Young. And Bryce Young. They could put up some numbers against each other on their teams against the defenses. So we'll see. Jaguars versus the 49ers. Jaguars are 2-1. And the 49ers are undefeated as well. Believe 3-0. And the 49ers are trying to go 4-0, while the Jaguars are trying to go, 3-1 and have a little bit of a stranglehold on that division that they're in. I think the AFC South, So, but the 49ers are trying to get a stranglehold, get up, stay undefeated, and stuff like that. That's another goal for them. Colts are undefeated, 3-0 versus the Rams, who are 2-1. That's gonna be a big game too. Daniel Jones has been balling. He's been cooking, and Matthew Stafford's been cooking too. That's a good QB duo that's gonna happen. And both defenses gotta be careful, because those quarterbacks could throw. They got great receivers and a great run game. So that's gonna be a fun one too. That's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be a special one as well. Look out forward to that game. This other game is gonna be fun. I know both teams are 1-2. But they play some tough teams, right? They play some tough teams. Okay, the Ravens are 1-2. They play the Chiefs. And Arrowhead. It's going to be fun. The Ravens beat the Browns, but they did lose to the Lions. And they did lose week 1 to the Bills, which they probably should have won the game. And they probably should have won against the Lions, too. They had moments where they could have won the game. And the Chiefs, close with the Eagles, right? They had a few plays, especially when it comes to being off target in the pass game, which could have helped them get the win against the Eagles. And then they lost to the Chargers, a tough game too. The Chargers ended up winning against them, but they did beat them Giants, right? So though, Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, I think, can really, really do their thing, can really open it up, right? Players like Derrick Henry cannot fumble the ball, got to get some running in, try to get over 100 yards. And Kelsey has to try to have a breakout game against the Ravens defense, help them, right? I think Rasheed, if I'm not mistaken, Xavier Worthy is coming back. I think he'll be back in this game. So, this is gonna be a good game, good fundamental game for him as well. The Bears and the Raiders, man, another game. The Raiders, right, playing against the Bears. Caleb Williams came off of a magical performance, probably his best performance of his career, and so far he's having a great career. I think he only has like one turnover, one interception, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he fumbled at all either. I don't think. Playing against the Raiders, who's reeling, man. Started out 1-0, but they're 0-2 the last 2 games. Tough situation, tough sledding. Those are situations, that could be a tough game, right? That could be a tough game. The Bears can have a win, or the Raiders can. That could be a good game, right? Try to get Ashton Genty the ball. You got to try to give him the ball. That dude's a runner. That dude can run, right? Then you can set up the play action and get your big dogs the ball, like Bowers, Mayers, receivers, tight, all that, man. Your tight ends, you can get everybody open if you feed Ashton Genty the ball, and then you can be fine. This game is about to be a magical game. Packers versus Cowboys. The Cowboys ain't gonna do my dude right and give him no tribute. They ain't gonna give Michael Parsons a tribute. But Michael Parsons is about to show them who's big boss out here. You understand? He's big boss. CeeDee Lamb is out too. Man, that sucks for him. He's out with an ankle. You never know with the ankles. You gotta be careful with those ankles. So he might be out. He's definitely gonna be out for this game. He might be out for the next game or so. You never know how they go. But I think the Packers, man, Cowboys gotta be careful, man. They gotta get pressure on Jordan Love, dude. You gotta get pressure on him. If you don't get pressure on him, he's gonna dissect that defense for sure. And then obviously the Cowboys gotta get pressure on Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, he came into college, he came into the NFL being mobile, but now he's like, especially with some of the injuries he dealt with, he's not as mobile. So he's accurate. He's great. He's been accurate like in college. He's still accurate. He's freaking amazing. But you gotta make sure, okay, that that you get to him and force him to maneuver and then get sacks. And you never know. Michael Parsons might get him. He's going to want to get a sack or two against his old team. So, but the Cowboys got to, survive that pressure. They got to try to win this game. This is a big one. If they go 1-3, they're definitely going to be in trouble for sure. Screw win your division. They might mess around and be in the lottery. They keep having these little games where they're losing, like losing to Bears. So they got to be almost losing to the Giants. So they got to really be careful. They really don't want to start out 1-3. So they got to try to get this win. And the Packers want to go 3-1 and show them who's boss. You know what I'm saying? But man, I'm telling you, Sunday, it's going to be a fun Sunday. Okay, fun Sunday. Okay, in the next video, we're going to talk about the two games that's going to be coming up. Jets, the Jets playing against the Jets playing against the Dolphins, right? Both 0-3 teams, both trying to get a win. And then we're also going to talk about the Bengals, versus the Broncos. See those games, see how that goes, right? Because the Broncos, I believe, are 1-2, and the Bengals are 2-1. So, talk about those games in the next video, while also reviewing, recapping the games and stuff like that. Recapping some different games, highlights, different things of that nature for sure. Talk about the games that happen Sunday. So, hey, looking forward to it. I know y'all are too, and I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for the Sunday, baby. The Sunday games. I'm real excited for it. All right. I mean, y'all enjoy this Sunday. Y'all make sure y'all like, y'all comment, and y'all subscribe. Hit the bell notification. If y'all like the videos, if y'all love the channel, please do that for me. That's all I ask. I don't ask for nothing else. I won't. No donations. That's it, man. Enjoy the Sunday, man. And y'all make sure y'all have a good time, man. Man, make sure y'all have a good time, okay? Y'all peace out, man. Enjoy.